Sunday and starting to prepare the next barrel, oak barrel, and as you can see it is already quite weepy. New barrels aren't in any way glued together or jointed together, they're literally butted up against each other, and what makes them watertight, or in this case lambic tight, is the swelling of the wood. So as the wood swells, its girth enlarges, forming a perfect seal. This one is dripping more than the last one, so I'm guessing this is going to take a couple of weeks, but it doesn't matter. The lambic is going to be about 4 weeks. Lambic number 2, it's going to be about 4 weeks, I think, before it's going to be ready to go in here. So it affords plenty of time in order to seal this properly. Now I'm getting ready for taking this and this over to Chris in Retford tomorrow. Sod's law is it's been forecast snow, so we might be doing it by dog sled, and I hope it's not going to be, as I keep saying, too shit a job for him. I think I better go and check what that was. It's not the weather, it's the tame elephant upstairs. So as I said, this is now full, look, pretty much. This is going to take a couple of weeks to seal, and probably quite a lot of water going in it. I'm going to fill that again in a minute, but I'm going to watch it every single moment so I don't flood the place. So yeah, over to Retford tomorrow, all being well. I've got all the bits ready for Chris. The only questions are going to be about how we do the herms, so that the herms can be tri-clamped, and about the sight glass, how we're going to, do you know what I'm doing here? Sight glass will be there, and so whether we do a 24 or 21, have a nipple coming out or a tri-clamp going in, so the sight glass can come up, or the measuring glass can come up. Oh, so yes, those are the questions. And the other thing, obviously, in my mind is how we're going to ensure that everything is square. I think probably by adding another, putting a tri-clamp on there and then putting a spirit level on it or something. Maybe getting a longer piece of tube or something. Oh, I don't know. We'll burn that bridge when we come to it, boys and girls. But at the moment, I'm happy, quite happy-ish, that things are coming together. And tomorrow, I've actually said I'm not available. So no meetings, no zoomings. That's Amazon. Look at that. Whew, the wind's getting up outside, boys and girls. Right, Mr. Amazon has just delivered on a Sunday buffing wheels. And these are literally like the fibre wheels that we have on the polishing machine, which you can't see at the moment. And using the soaps that I did show in a previous video will bring stainless steel up to an almost mirror finish. I'm not going to do it just yet. Might do a little bit actually in a bit, because just to show you how well it comes up. But I'm getting most of my things ready for tomorrow, and I'm going to do something slightly unusual for tomorrow. Yes, I'm sanitizing the bottle filler. Running some Star Sand through it. No, you don't need to clean it, because I cleaned it after the last use. So this is purely a sanitation with foamy Star Sand. I have Star Sand at some bottles which are now in the drainer, and star sand at some lids and sprayed everything with star sand. I know. Can you see a pattern developing, boys and girls? So once the star sand's been in the line for a couple of minutes, I will then flush it through with a bit of beer, and then I'm going to do what am I going to do? Do a couple of Bernies, a couple of happy endings. What have we got down here? Oops. Oh. I might do a couple of single digits. I don't know. We'll see. Definitely going to do a Teddy Hopper with a little note on the bottle saying drink from the bottle, because on the cans it says drink from the can. I don't know why that is. It's mainly to probably say you only get the mouth effect rather than the aroma as you sniff from the glass. Shut up, Bailey, for crying out loud. Let's get to it. The more I use this, the more I like it. Very well designed. I've just given everything a good spray with a star sand, and I'm going to do it again because that's what I'm like. And I've flushed it through with star sand. The thing is, using it as I just have for 20 minutes, if that, yeah, probably about 20 minutes. There's no real build up in the beer line. So flushing it through with water, star sand, whatever, it's perfectly fine. Don't need to use beer line cleaner. If this was permanently installed, as the taps are, then just use the same cleaning strategy that I would for the taps. There's nothing special that you need to do with this if it were permanently installed, but because it's only clamped on for occasional use, flushing it through with water at the end to clear the beer out of the line and a quick woof with star sand, job's a good one. I don't usually take beer to other people, especially kind of people who are that's what they do, I just don't. I'm a bit reluctant always to do that, but I'm going to tomorrow because I would like Chris's opinion on three of my little amateur attempts. So that's why I have done under here. I've done some. Don't worry, it's not all for one person. I'm going to send a couple others. I'm going to break the habit of a lifetime. Send a couple of others out. I'm not overly competitive. That's the first thing. The second thing is that I've got a strange thing about Facebook groups, and a lot of the time people send beer mail around and then it gets reviewed on Facebook groups, and I don't know, it assumes sort of its own micro culture, its own micro community, which I think although that's good and it's nice for the people participating in it, it's kind of also a bit exclusive for people who don't. And the other thing from my point of view is it's fucking expensive. I do all what I do based on a piss poor pension and whatever I managed to make through Made by Martin in order to run some of the groups and activities and whatever. I can't afford to send £8 packets of beer around to everybody all the time. I just can't do it. Some people are sending out half a dozen or more a week. I can't do that. Plus, most of my professional life has been involved in peer review. For those who don't know, that means I write something and everyone else then tries to pull it apart, which is good, and that's what it should be. There are two types of academic in this world. Those who discover something and then spend the rest of their life trying to convince everybody else that they're right. And then there's those who discover something and then spend the rest of their working life and post-working life trying to prove themselves wrong, to question their, to be self-critical. Both of those are valid, but the latter is more me. So, I don't really want to expose myself before my peers, as the term goes. That's Pink Floyd line. You'll be exposed before your peers. Nick, if you ever watch this, sorry, not plagiarising you anymore, mate. So that's why I don't tend to send out beer mail much, and well, at all, really. I had a go once, and it turned out to be fucking oxidised. So I just thought, well, but it's mainly it's not something I can afford to do on a regular basis. Which is another reason why I cobble all this together, kind of on a wing and a prayer, really. I don't spend a huge amount of money. None of this has been wholly expensive, really. I think probably the plate chiller was one of the most expensive things I've bought. So yes, and making that, I had some help with that and the other one. So yeah, so that's why. Don't be offended if I don't send you beer mail. It's not, you know what it's like. I hope you know what it's like. Well, thing is, you see, God, that's better. I like being an amateur, and the sort of getting it wrong part of that, which is another reason I don't tend to give a huge amount of my stuff away, although I will be soon, because well, that's another long story, but actually might as well do the full disclosure on this one. It's a load of Guinness we found on the boat, went out of date last year. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and some in there as well somewhere. Big, really useful boxes. There's about 230 bottles of various beers in there, which I brewed ready for last summer, for some parties last summer. And obviously last summer didn't happen. You hear that? That noise. Look. That noise is the fan inside the 12-volt transformer in there, I think. Yep. Amazon shit. So it ain't gonna last. So those there's more upstairs actually. I think there's nearly 400 bottles in all. They're going to be given away soon. What I thought I would do is I'm going to stick them on website, and you'll be able to purchase them for nothing. But along with each bottle that you sort of purchase, you also purchase a pledge. And the pledge will be something, and I think I have mentioned this, I've just never got around to actually doing it, but Charlotte and I started bringing all the bottles down yesterday. You'll purchase a pledge to, when all this corona shit is over, to go and do things like go and buy a drink at St Mars of the Desert, or the Dorothy Packs, or the Bar Stewards. Go and buy something to eat at Blue Moon or Cole's Corner. Go and check out a different brewery tap room, or buy some beer from a different brewery, like obviously Harrison's Brewery, Attic Brewery. You know, things like little pledges like that which, okay, I know not everybody will fulfill all those pledges, but even if some are, then it might kind of help to swing things back in the favour of those who've been completely and utterly fucked over by this government. And I can't overemphasise just how much this government has bent everybody over and fucked them, because this government has spent per head capita more than any other government on the planet, and we have had the highest level of deaths per 100,000 of any developed country. That is not a statistic that we should be proud of. Not only that, but businesses are going to the wall left, right and centre. When businesses go to the wall, there's no income from them for the exchequer. Especially in the licensing trade, there's no duty, there's no VAT, there's no national insurance income, there's no PAYE, there's no business rates. The insurance industry is no longer having an income from insurance. Everything becomes fucked. And I've been trying to hold off a little bit, but I got really angry yesterday when I watched a mate's video and he just couldn't hold it in any longer. And he's fucking right not to. And you know, people will know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to highlight it here because he doesn't swear half as much as I do. And it isn't fucking fair. It isn't fair that if you were wealthy, at Christmas and New Year, you could quite legally hire a top chef and their team, including waiters and waitresses and sommeliers, to come into your home and cook for you at Christmas or New Year. In fact, it's happening now. Somewhere tonight there will be a top chef working in a posh house because it's quite legal. It's quite legal to employ people to come and work in your house with their top team, waiters, waitresses, sommeliers. If you're wealthy, you don't need to worry about going out to a fucking restaurant. But if you run a little restaurant or if you run a bar and you're not allowed to trade, and here's the worst thing, you're not even allowed to do click and collect now. So a lot of places are having to deliver. How far can this go before there is a complete collapse of the social and cultural equity of this country? And I have been trying to hold off on this because, as some of you will know, I occasionally participate in certain forums which we might have a kind of advanced inkling of some of the decisions that might be made. All right, we sometimes know exactly what the decisions are. It's just that those decisions aren't made public. So if we're going to keep everything shut down until May, fucking tell people. If people know, they can plan. But the big crunch is going to be education. And we haven't really got our heads around education. We have started to experience massive numbers of mental health issues within children. Fucking hell. Within children. Mental health issues, chronic depression, a rise in attempted and successful suicides. What the fuck is going on in this country? Anyone who's watched TV or listened to the radio where they're doing interviews, or even watching Parliament Channel where they've got MPs connecting into the House of Commons via a video link, and it goes down. It even happened to Body Bag Boris, Bullshit Johnson. It happened to Johnson. His line went down. The technological infrastructure in this country is wank. It's shite. How the fuck are we supposed to enable children to be educated? It's a little bit like shouting down a tin can connected to another tin can with a piece of string. This country is fucked, and the reason it's fucked is because we've had successive governments, usually Tory, who asset strip this country of absolutely fucking everything it's got. They're picking your pockets, they're picking my pocket, and worse still, they don't give a fuck if you and yours and ours and mine die. Let that sink in for a bit. Right. It's going to snow. We might not even make it to fucking Retford, and Charlotte's on call. Can it get much fucking worse? Got plenty of beer to drink though. Anyway. Right. I needed to get that off my chest. I have got a rather full chest. As those who know me will know, my chest is only really matched by my chest is only really matched by my belly. That's it for now. And do you know what? It weren't the fan in there. I'd left the fucking pump on. Sometimes I really shouldn't be allowed to do anything. I better run that through just to... There we are. What a muppet. That's it for now. Whatever you're going to do next week, do it safely. And look after each other, guys, because the fucking government ain't going to. Cheers.